You've stopped into another episode of Dad Crossing where myself, Nick, and my co host Sean will have real, honest chats about the highs and lows of dad life. We'll laugh together at the craziness of parenting and the silliness of our kiddos, and we'll support each other through the challenges and tough decisions of fatherhood. Whether you're a seasoned granddad or a dad to be, we promise laughs, relatable, and sometimes raw talk, and expert help to tackle the tough issues. Not from Sean and me, but from the amazing guests we'll have on the show. So let's be dads crossing through life together.
All right, Sean. So in the last episode, I said I'd show you what an Owala bottle is. There's nothing special, but this is an Owala bottle. So it's literally just like a water bottle, but I don't know why it's become like a big thing. So the real cool thing is, I don't know if I can do it without tipping out water, because I just filled it up. It's got like two spots, see? So the bottom is like a built-in sip spot, and then the top you can just like drink out of. That's like the big thing about it. Other than that, other than the fact that it's really like it keeps water forever and a day, and it's well built. Like those things are true, but it just has become like super popular in the U.S. or at least where around me. I don't know if everywhere, but so it's kind of like I can't remember the name of the cup. There was another cup that became super popular for a while too. It's kind of like Stanley's.
Stanley's are pretty big over here still.
Are they? Yeah. So it's like it's kind of like. It's much newer than Stanley, but it's like got that like thing where everybody's like, oh, I want an Owala cup. So, and my son got the Owala fever. So there you go. Now you know.
Oh, if anybody from Owala listens to us, you know,
Amen.
we'll happily include you in. You know, we're not a paid commission on this one. Just
You know what? If you just gave us free Owala bottles, then I thought I mean, just send Sean Owala. Maybe he could get it over there in the UK, man. Get you a whole thing over there. Do it. Yeah, I love
it. I still have this from when we were doing Game Pass. My standards cup of the Xbox. It was full of Coke, but I was concentrating that I had when editing the other episode in between the two. I've drunk it all.
There you go.
So I'm sad.
You know, I find myself I do that sometimes with my I have a cup like this, but it's bigger. Welcome to Habitat. And just product placement. And I'll sit it in front of me, kind of like my microphone right now, and I will not even pay attention. I'll have it filled with tea, and I'll just be like doing a thing, and I'll be like, just over here sucking, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, I drank that already? So I know exactly how you feel. Like it's just
20 minutes later, it's going to be like, I need to pee.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah. But that's definitely a thing for me as well. I will just, if it's like available and I don't have to grab it, yep, I just keep, I don't know, sipping away.
So anyway, this episode is nothing to do with the amount of cup we have our own and use. I mean, you would we just to explain a bit of behind the scenes of how this goes. Usually we meet once a week, me and Nick, to record an episode. Well, to record both episodes, which is sometimes we have to do like manage ourselves in terms of what we're saying and things like that. But today you had parental duties where you're going to have to deliver Noah to it's theater
rehearsal
practice.
Yeah, Anne of Green Gables rehearsal.
Yes. So we wrapped up the last episode so you could go do that and then come back, and you were gone a lot less time than I thought you were going to be gone. And that's because you had some help that was there.
Yeah. My father-in-law, their papa as they call him, was stayed over. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that because I told Beck that I could do it in between, but I guess Becca kind of mentioned that I would be like trying to like do this swap real quick, and he was like, well, I'll just stay. So I got up there and there he was. So yeah, no, it is super helpful. So
it is. And it's one of those things where can sometimes take it for granted. Like,
yeah,
I feel bad sometimes when I ask my mom because I do forget to kind of give her a decent amount of heads up if we needed to pick Logan up or drop Logan off. And I can, like, sometimes I'll be texting her like 8 p.m. Sunday night and be like, "Can you take Logan to school for us in the morning? Because I was meant to ask you before now, and I completely forgot."
Yeah.
So, and I hate doing that because I sometimes I feel like she will be annoyed that I've left it till last minute, but it is usually because there's a bajillion other things going on in the house that I'm able to try and keep up. But it's just so useful.
Yeah.
We would struggle so much if that wasn't there available. So, like, every time I work a day shift in the week, my mum will take Logan to school, which involves Lindsay dropping him off there at like 7:15 in the morning. And so she'll do this every time I'm on a day shift. So that's in the week. So that is, let me get this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 5 times a month, maybe.
Yeah.
And she'll pick him up from school. She'll keep him there. He usually ends up tormenting my dad playing on the PC or doing something.
Sure.
Much to my dislike, my dad introduced him to Sniper Elite.
Oh my gosh! I think we had this conversation. I remember this, but it's still funny because I still remember that trailer with the bullet going through the guy's head. Like
yeah, he hasn't turned that off. So, and it's Logan's favorite. Logan's favorite thing is to try and shoot them through the eye, which I wasn't impressed with at first, but it's, there's worse things you can see.
Well, you do have to make these constellations, right? Though this is another part of like grandparent help. You have to make the constellations of like, okay, well, you're really helping me out, and you do it a lot, and you do it on the fly, and you let me, it's very handy, and you don't charge me anything. So, as the parent, I can give you some advice, and I can be like, no, definitely not this, but like there are certain hills that I just can't die on if I don't want to take flack for the fact that you do a lot. So
yeah, but it's just weird listening to your 8-year-old son and be giggling as he watches.
Didn't you tell me he was trying to shoot him in the privates at one point? That's what I thought. I thought I remembered that. Yeah, that's my favorite. That's really good.
Likes to make them pop.
Yep. That's a boy for you right there. Gotta love that. Gotta love that a lot.
Well, anyway, so yeah, they help us out loads. And then when I'm on nights, my mum will pick him up from school, so like I can grab like an extra hour's sleep, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really helps. Like I can, instead of having, if I take Logan to school on a Monday, so I finish at 7 a.m. I'll come home, Lindsay leaves, I'll get Logan sorted out the door. Like I'm usually leaving school after dropping him off at 9 a.m. It'll be close to 10 a.m. that I'm getting into bed. And if I had to get him back for school, I'm setting an alarm for 2 in the afternoon, so I'm getting 4 hours sleep. Or if my mum picks him up, I can set an alarm for 4 p.m., which gives me another 2 hours sleep, really. And I can then go get up. I can take Rex out before I go get Logan, because we can't leave Logan in the house on his own while I take Rex for a walk, and then I'll go and get Logan from school. So it just really helps. It buys me 2 extra hours sleep and gives me like 45 minutes to kind of come around, grab a coffee, and take Rex out before I go and pick him up from my mum's.
Yeah.
So it's just, and we've had that. I mean, we've had friends help in the past. We had a couple of the other school mums that would do the stuff in between for us, but now Lindsay starts a lot earlier in the morning. We don't like asking them because they've got small babies and stuff, so we don't want to interfere with their schedule. But the help from grandparents is unreal.
Yep. So my mom takes him pretty much on Fridays. So if I have a meeting that I need to be late or something like that, I drop off pretty much every day, and then I pick up pretty much 3 times a week, and then my mom picks them up on Friday, and then my in-laws pick up on one day, Monday through Thursday, which is really nice because I get to like choose the day. I get to choose the day that they can do that. And so like last week I had a 7 o'clock council meeting for a lot we wanted to buy on Wednesday,
And so I was able to just be like, can you pick them up on Wednesday? That would be great because I have a 7:00 meeting. So then I don't have to like pick them up, drive them, wait for Becca to get home, then drive all the way back. I can just pretty much stay at the office and just get stuff done all day long. So that's usually what I do when that kind of stuff happens. So very helpful.
It is. And then like for doing other things as well. So when we went out for tea on Friday, just gone, my in-laws came across and sat with Logan for us, so we could go out. They came here rather than us like having to drive in the opposite direction to then drive back to where we were going to drive past the house to go back and get him. They came and sat with him here, which was nice. And oh yeah, this year I'm 40. This year Logan's going there because we're going away in August for my as a early 40th birthday present for me. We're going away in August.
Nice.
So he's going
Have you decided where? Squirrel.
I have been told it's booked. Activities are sorted.
Oh wow, fun! You don't even know. I like this.
Yeah.
This is good.
I don't even know what to take with me. I said this. I need to know, like, do I need clothes that I don't mind getting messy? Do I need like smart clothes? Do I need like? Lindsay's like, I'll just tell you closest at a time, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, those are the big things, right? So like, let's see. We went to Virginia one last year. Was it last year? 2 years ago? I can't remember. We've been to Virginia, Boston. We went on a cruise and went to Kansas City. I think those are the 4 times that we have been away from the kids for like a week. Or well, it wasn't always a week. 4 days to a week, something like that. And those are the big ones, like, because those things are so amazing. And so to be able to just like trust that you're you got somebody that can take care of the thing to get all the stuff done is super, super helpful.
It is. And we always repay the favor. So we'll always, if we go away somewhere, we'll always bring something back as a thank you. Or we'll Lindsay bakes a lot. So sometimes she'll bake like a batch of bread and we'll take that around and say thank you that way. Or we'll take them out for dinner or have them round for dinner. That's why one of my dad's favorites is to come here for Sunday dinner.
Sure.
But yeah, so when I said earlier, it was like not to take it for granted. I feel like it's all I really ever speak to my mum to do. Equally, I know she got help from my dad's mum. So her mother-in-law used to come and like help with the ironing and stuff like that while me and Logan was little, because my mum worked nights, my dad worked as a lorry driver, so there was kind of nowhere in between. So my grandma used to come across from West Yorkshire to North Yorkshire, and she used to do the ironing for my mum and help out that way. So it's kind of like a generational thing that there's always been some form of grandparent to be there and to help. And it's nice. It's like Logan has a different relationship with each grandparent. So he's really, with Lindsay's dad, he's really like, I'd say subdued, but he's not his usual bouncing around all over the place. He's kind of more constructed and like likes to show the things he's been building and the talents that he's got in terms of that kind of stuff. Where with my mum, he will literally jump all over my mum and has tickle time, where like he'll torment my mum so she tickles him and has him giggling and stuff like that. So
that's fun.
And my dad, he just climbs all over my dad and like watches him either play games or plays games with him. So
that's really cool. Yeah, with my in-laws, the kids love to play games, which kind of makes me jealous because they used to like to play games with me, and now a lot of times they're like, "No, it's okay." And I'm like, "But come on, play this game." Nah, it's okay. Fine, be that way. So yeah, and with my mom, they do all kinds of stuff. They have shows that they watch. That was one of the consolations. I can't remember. It is the Sherlock Holmes show, but it's a girl. I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of the show. It's on Netflix. Anyways, it was not a
Oh,
show.
Emma Elima Holmes.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's not a show we would have let our children watch when they watch. It's not like awful. Like it's not like
Yeah, it's the one with Millie Bobby Brown, isn't it?
yeah, girl. I'm now searching Sherlock Holmes girl show because, why not? That's definitely going to get you there.
I'm sure it's Emily Holmes or Emola
Emily
Holmes or
Holmes,
something.
sure. Anyways, this show, I will try not to get stuck that I don't remember it. And I was like, "Oh, you guys are watching that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll just let this one go because you do a lot and it's not really that bad." With my in-laws, it's going out to eat. They went to Culver's, which is, just like a fast food burger joint. And it's like, "Oh, my kids do not need to go out to eat anymore. Do you not realize the weekend they just had of like feasting and food and more food?" And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, fine. Well, thank you for watching the kids. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thing is, when you do argue this fact, they come back with it. Well, what do you think, grandparents? We like to spoil them. We like to make sure they're having a good time. And then
Uh-huh.
you're like, well, when I was a kid, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah, right? I know. It's totally true. That is
No,
totally true. But it
I
was the
totally get.
same way when I was a kid. So, like, I used to like to sit on the counter, the kitchen counter, and watch mom cook or bake or whatever she was doing. And she'd be like, "No, you can't sit on the kitchen counter. You can sit over there on the floor. We don't sit on the counter." But grandma would always let me sit on the counter. So it was great. So, and then I would come home and be like, "Grandma let me sit on the counter." And she'd be like, "Well, grandma can let you do whatever she wants at your house. So, at her house. So, there you go." It's pretty much what I tell my kids now, too. Grandma took us out to eat again. Well, you know what? Grandma can let you do whatever she wants to do. I'm just glad you got watched, and I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, and that's the same here. I couldn't. I used to sleep around at my grandma's a lot as a kid, and I
Mm-hmm.
used to like. I used to watch different things, but there wasn't as much around when we were younger then. But yeah, it was definitely stuff that I got away with there. Then I wouldn't have as a at home with my mom and dad. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's
and I
so
think
great.
something.
Like I have so many memories because I'm with you. Like my grandma and papa, I slept at their house all the time. And so on weekends, and then I would spend like weeks. I'd spend a couple of weeks during the summer, on summer break over there. And so yeah, and I have a ton of memories of doing that, of fishing and goofing off in the backyard and like all those things. They lived on a river, so that was really cool. We go a lot of swimming, a lot of fishing, a lot of just goofing around in the fields. So yeah, good times.
Yeah,
So, and I want them to have those memories too. So
yeah. Rex
it's
goes.
tradition.
Rex goes with Logan when I'm on days
Oh yeah.
because otherwise he ends up in the house on his own. Especially now Jay has. When Jay was at college, it wasn't too bad because like she used to be in more than she used to be out with college. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always somebody here. But when she went to uni, we kind of thought it'd be nice for him to not be on his own all the time. So he goes down there with Logan, and like he'll um they've got like really big glass patio doors at the back of the living room, and
Mm-hmm.
he kind of just sits with his nose pressed against it, watching the birds in the garden. Um, so like that's really helpful as well in terms of that. Um, and they're just good for like last minute things if there's like an emergency kind of thing. If I've had to take Logan to A&E and don't want to leave Emily on
Mm-hmm.
her own, like I can ring and say, I've left Emily at home, but I don't know how long I'm going to be. Can you pop down and just, either check in on her or take her through to yours? I'm having to rush through to the hospital with
Yeah.
Logan, or do this, do that, do the other. So it's just good to have the help. And I know some people don't get that. They,
Mm-hmm.
people fall out with their parents and they don't have that help. And then they might rely on aunts and uncles to do that. But it's always good as long as you have somebody to have you have you back as a support network when it comes to the kids. It's always good because
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine not. Lindsay wouldn't be able to do the job that she really enjoys doing, or vice versa. And I wouldn't be able to work the shifts that I work if we didn't have the help, or we'd end up having to pay for it. We'd have to pay for
Yeah, that's the thing.
breakfast for wraparound care.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and I don't know about
Which
over there, but childcare is like crazy expensive over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it really is an amazing amount of savings to have grandparents.
But it's not too bad. The wraparound care in terms of what the school can provide isn't too bad, but it doesn't still doesn't really operate in the times that we'd need them. So we would then have to look at childminders, and that, like you say, that just becomes an astronomical figure. Might as well not be going to work as that extra person.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was I mean, yeah, when they were in daycare when they were really little, for a period of time. And yeah, we were paying a crazy amount of money. I mean, it was like one of Becca's paychecks, basically. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, yeah, so glad we're out of that time period. That was very costly. And so, yeah, the memories, the help. Yes, there is always, like I said, those like, you got to make those concessions, not consolations, concessions of like, okay, fine, you do the thing. That's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I will release the grip on that thing.
Yeah.
And so,
which is fine if you're not co-parenting. I found that there was toes stepped on when co-parenting came to things. So like when my mum and dad used to help with Emily when she was younger, before Logan, excuse me, she once ended up watching the Harry Potter, the one where the Death Eaters come and they're like trying to suck the soul out of Harry.
yeah,
Yeah, she was only little. She must have been like
Mhm.
Logan's age when she saw that, and she was a bit more impressionable than Logan. And apparently, when she was like a little bit upset by it, told her mum, which isn't Lindsay. And I can remember having a phone call conversation from my mum being like, "I can't believe your mum's let her watch this," and then I'm like, I wasn't there. I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
Poor judgment on their part, and so I then had to have the conversation. I was like, "You great, you got me in hot water with this," and so
Yeah.
it gets more interesting at the co-parenting stage. But
Sure. Now, do you have any like back and forth between the grandparents? Sometimes I feel like between the grandparents there's like it's not fighting. It's almost, this isn't the exact right term for it, but it's like one-upping almost. Like the thing that they let the kids do or whatever, like I don't know. It's just like they're all vying for attention.
No, they don't do that really because,
Oh,
like I
good
said,
for you.
each one's different. So, like, my really, mum's really chilled and laid back in terms of like, I take Logan there and he's bouncing off the walls, he's jumping like from sofa to sofa, and my mum's kind of like, meh, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And like
that's
when I
awesome.
used to do that as a kid, she was like,
Yeah.
basically spear tackling me in mid-flight
So
to the
funny.
ground. Well, and like Lindsay's mum's the same, but she does have a bit more in terms of boundaries of bouncing around on furniture. But she will take Logan out to somewhere to do something, where my mum will just take Logan into the field and let him run around in the field with the
Sure.
dog and stuff. So everybody has like a different thing that they do, not that they're trying to. So like, if one grandparent takes him out, the other grandparent needs to take him out to somewhere a bit more. They don't do any of this. It's kind of like there's no tit for tat on that. It's just, Logan goes to my dad for video game entertainment, and goes to my mum for like kicking sticks and rocks around, and it's
Yeah.
So there's no competition in that. They do talk. It's good when we all get together because it's like obviously we're just one big family, and Logan will sit and bounce between them all doing different things, and they'll all talk and they'll all share and laugh stories about him and Emily and Jay about like differences because Lindsay's mum's known Jaya since she was a baby, where my mum and dad didn't really know Jaya
Sure.
until she was like 9 years old. So
Yeah, that's cool. No, I do appreciate that we do get together as a family, as a whole. Like we've been very blessed. One, we have a small family. So I mean, a small like extended family. It's just not, we don't have that many people. And so I've always appreciated that we do like holidays, pretty much everything. We get together as a family and celebrate. Noah's birthday was one big family celebration, and so yeah, those things are super cool. I think it helps kind of, I don't know, keep everybody on the same page, and everybody saves time, does everything. It's like super neat. It's
Yeah, and
very
everybody
helpful.
keeps in touch. So, because once there's that relationship between everybody, and everybody's keeping in touch. If one grandparent's watching, like Noah and Ariel, and something comes up where they're in a bit of an emergency, there's been nothing stopping them from speaking to the other grandparents and being like, "Hey, Nick and Beck dropped the kids with us, but X, Y, and Z's happened. Can we drop them with you because we've got to do?" And it's just good to have this really big open forum
Mm-hmm.
where
Yeah,
everybody can talk in between themselves. So
yeah, for sure. No, so that's very helpful. Um, yeah, man. If we Let's see, I'm just gonna like play because we both are in the same situation. Nobody's in the other situation. So like, if we did not have family help, we'd have to lean on the Duke a lot, for sure. Like to go pick up kids every once in a while. Man, they miss out on some money because I feel real bad. I feel like I'd have to like give them. They probably wouldn't take it, but I feel like I'd have to give them some cash because I mean I'm thinking they're the ones that I can think to lean on. There's also another family that we'd have to definitely try to lean on those two families, but I'd feel really bad because of all the times it's it's probably once every other week at least, sometimes a bit more, that I have a late meeting that I would need somebody there, or we'd need to be doing a lot of driving. So like Wednesday's thing could have worked. They had theater club. Theater club ends at 4:45. I take them, drive them. I could drop them off, but Becca would have to be like on time at 6 at the house, and then I could have driven back to Mendon, which is like a 35-minute drive. 30-minute drive. 30-minute drive. And so it just would have been it's just a lot more work, right? Like, so yeah, we could probably make it work. We need to lean on friends a bit more, and there'd just be more inconvenience in between instead of like, because of what happened on Wednesday, I was able to spend Friday with Becca because it was like, oh, I had 4 hours to do work. And so I was like, you know what, if I really like bang out everything that I can think to get done, then maybe Friday I won't have to go into the office and I can just work from home and hang out with Becca. And that's what happened.
little pre-Valentine's Day.
Well, for us, it really was a Valentine's Day because Valentine's is never just us. So
Yeah, I mean, if we the only area where we had some support that we no longer have that support is my sister-in-law,
sure.
because the sister's not getting on. Like, we my youngest niece goes to the same school as Logan, so like we'd been able to lean on that a little bit and be say, like, when on these days, can you take Logan for us? And like, on the rest of the days, because my sister-in-law's partner works shifts to an extent, and like, he does, I can't remember because he just changed his job and I could never really keep up with his shifts. But he could like benefit from having like a bit more sleep on a morning and stuff like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'd have said, Sean will come and basically pick up your youngest and take them both to school for you, and vice versa. So we would help each other out. Obviously, that's not there now, so that's why we do have to lean on my mum a little bit more. And then with the whole saga of my dad having the lower left of his leg removed, we pulled back from my mum um, as much as possible. So we started asking um, Logan's friend's mum, who lives over the road. They go to the same school, so we asked them a little bit. Um, Joe and his wife, we've asked them just to do a couple of like, can you drop offs and pickups and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, just yeah, so that's what we'd have to do, and
Mm-hmm.
if we didn't have the grandparent help. And then the other one is, we could ask more of Lindsay's mum and her partner, but they live in West Yorkshire, which isn't a massive drive, but it's a massive inconvenience for them to have to travel across this way.
Mm-hmm.
to pick them up to kind of just come to ours and sit and wait and then drive back. So, but they would do it. They would do it if we asked.
Sure.
It's just don't want to inconvenience somebody that much with that length of a drive when we don't have to. So.
Yeah, it's the same way with like the friends I was mentioning. Yeah, they would do it for sure. I bet if we didn't have grandparents, if something God forbid ever happened, they would help us. But yeah, it's like I'd rather not have to do that. And so yeah, it's grandparents are a great help. Find somebody, I guess would be my thing. Like as I sit here like thinking of people listening to this, like, well, I don't have grandparents. Try to find somebody, whether they're in your same boat or somebody that can, you can trust, that can be that like lifeline for you when you need it. Because if I think of without friends, oh my gosh, like, well, then life just becomes really difficult. Like if I don't got anybody, like if it's just like me and Becca doing this on our own, yeah, I don't know how the jobs work out, but I'm sure we'd make it work. But it would be they might be going to some meetings with me. I'll just be like, hey, these are my kids. They're hanging out over here. Live with it. And so, yeah.
I'd love to say I could take Logan to work, but I wouldn't trust him to not press any of the big red buttons.
Well, like the kids go to work with me quite a bit. They will go a couple days at least this over spring break because unfortunately Becca and the kids have different spring breaks, which is unfortunate. And so they go to work with me, but you like when I have to go off site to a meeting, that's usually when stuff gets dicier. Otherwise, if I'm on site with a meeting, that's easy because they're in the conference room and they'll be coloring or playing Switch or whatever they do, play with their little dudes, all that fun stuff. So
yeah.
Just
gotta get, all we need to do is get Logan to like high school age. So once he hits 13, 14, be fine because he can take himself to school.
Oh, okay.
We can have that bit more of a trust that, he's going to have a key, can walk himself to school. The whole mobile phone saga starts, and he's already asking. He's like, "Oh, I've got a friend at school that's got a phone." I'm like, you've got an iPad. You don't need a phone.
He's like, I've got a computer, Dad. Why don't I have a cell phone? Come on.
But he's never away from us enough to need it. It's like Emily didn't have her first phone until she was walking to and from school, and Jay was the same because there was no need. They weren't ever in the house, out of the house when we weren't with them. So.
Yeah, I feel you. We actually, Beck and I have just been talking. That can be another dad topic, maybe. Beck and I have just been talking about phones, and so about we're almost at a point where we need one. We like Noah's not going to have a phone. Ariel's not going to have a phone. There's going to be a kid's phone. That like now Noah's at rehearsal. Rehearsal's not like the theater club that he's part of at night is not like a kids theater club. So it's not like they're supervised from like 6:30 to 8. No, rehearsals from 6:30 to 8. He might be done at 7 and they're just going to be like, peace out, thanks for coming. And then that's up to him to like get a hold of us, or else he just has to hang out in the studio until like I get there. So if we had a phone for like those instances, or like when Ariel's at soccer practice and stuff like that, it'd be nice to have something like that.
Yeah. And I think we'll make that next week's topic because I think that's a really good idea. So, but yeah, I mean, I that's all. I feel
grandparents are cool.
Look after them. Respect your elders.
Respect your elders.
No, I am very thankful for my parents. I'm very thankful for all the parents. In fact, I've got like there's my mum and dad, Lindsay's dad, and his partner, and then there's Lindsay's mum and her partner because they were separated and now with different people. I'm really thankful for them because they every time we say, "Oh, we're struggling with this," or like when my dad was going into hospital, they said, "Well, just let us know. We don't mind being around, and you do enough for us." And it's good. It's good like that. I like the support network, and I'm very grateful for it, and will forever be in their debt for that. So,
yeah, no, I hear you. Yep, I got nothing else to say. I'd like to say something, but you summed it up great.
Thanks very much. So yeah, thanks very much for listening. We are very sorry if you aren't in a similar position. You don't have the grandparents around with you. We are very sorry for that. We do hope that you have some form of of support network, be it aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends, extended family that, you have that uncle or aunt that isn't an actual uncle or aunt. So, they're just very good family friends. We hope we have that kind of support. And so, yeah. So, but thank you very much for listening. Hope you have a good weekend, and we shall see you soon.
See you later, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Dad Crossing. We're here to remind you that this podcast is made by dads for dads. It's a place where all of us can come together, share a laugh, and tackle the wild ride that is fatherhood. If you want to keep the conversation going or just need a safe space to chat or ask for help, you are always welcome to reach out. You can find me, Sean, at Sean_Abbott, and you can find my good friend Nick at Nick10Do. And of course, give our social media platforms a good look over, because that is where we share all the updates, all the laughs, and all the things dad life. That is, everything is at Dad Crossing. For anything more, feel free to drop us a message at team@dadcrossing.com. And until next time, stay strong, stay connected, and remember, you're never alone on this journey. We'll see you in the next episode of Dad Crossing.